hopefully I can make this work. I'm at work. I'm trying to get this done because this isn't even the day after. This is the day after the day after. We had a time on Wednesday night, bitch. I know this is a totally different vibe than the previous confessional that I had, which hopefully I can get all these confessionals up before we have our live tonight. But bitch, and also I have to like put my top coat on. Where do I even start? So day 27. Shit, what's today? Today's 29, right? Today is day 29. All right. Day 26, Sean was gone. I made a confessional before the vote, and I realized that there was nothing that I can do. Something that I know and realize about my game is that I'm really good at finding the people who are the big threats and either hiding underneath them or just letting them shine bright like a diamond, as Rihanna says. Let them shine bright. And I think that's what it was. And I feel like this game was a little bit of a metaphor for me and Sean's marriage. I am not a very meek or quiet or introverted person. But Sean and I, the way we are, is we can't both be 10. One of us has to be 5 or 6 a little bit. And the other one has to be 10, 11. And we switch. There are times where I have to be the extra one, where I'm the one that's completely over the top, where I'm the one that's like, pew, 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 do all the things, say all the things, control all the things, and then he has to just kind of sit back. And we play games together all the time, and when you can see that dynamic between us. If he wins, it's because I had to fall back and play hella, like, defense, you know, and let his offense wins. And vice versa. If it's because I won, it's because my defense was strong as fuck, and his offense was really weak. That's our dynamic. That's just how we are. Sometimes he's the boisterous one, even though he's an introvert who likes extroverted activities. I'm the extrovert who can be very introverted at times. So sometimes I'm the one that's like, turn this bitch up. I'm the Beyonce, you're the Jay-Z. And actually, I think their relationship is a great metaphor because sometimes Jay-Z has the mic and Beyonce is just back humming ad-libs. Sometimes Beyonce has the mic and Jay-Z is in the back doing his yeah, beat. So that's our relationship. And I realized kind of early in the game that in order for me to sit back and let Sean play his game, I was literally going to have to sit back, grab my tea, and let him play his game. I gave him this idea. I want to say it was going into like, day... Let's see, Tasha was still here. So it had to have been like day, I don't know, 23 or something. It was either like day 22. It was like day 22 or day 21. I gave him this idea to make a 5-person alliance and call it the Power Rangers. The people who I had the idea of being in this alliance was going to be me, Sean, Benny, Romeo, and Sharonica. I told him, I was like, if the 5 of us agree to be locked solid, locked tight, that keeps out Tasha, Garrett, Papa, Hannah, and Billy. At that point, there's a 5 that's solid, and we don't know what their numbers are doing. Sean said, that sounds like a good idea. He then goes and makes a Power Ranger alliance with Benny, Sharonica, him, Papa, and Garrett. Now, where the fuck did I say Papa and Garrett need to be involved? But okay. He went and did his own thing. This is where his game messed up. And this is where I got a little emotional because I was like, there's nothing I can do. I gave him my idea. He shooed my idea. I knew his game was going to be shit after that. Nothing I could do. So Garrett got him out based off of some lies and some insecurities on Garrett's part, whatever. So once Sean was gone, Benny, Sharonica, and Romeo looked at me and they're like, are you a number for us? You know, Garrett was trying to attack what he thought was a 4, which was supposed to be myself, Sean, Sharonica, and Benny. But I told Garrett, I was like, I am not in a chat with these people. What are you talking about? Why are you making this assumption? You know? And technically, we already had a chat with the 5 of us. I think it was called Let's Talk. I think Sean was in there too. But what I wanted Sean to do was rebrand Let's Talk. So that way we would be a solid 5. Once Sean was gone, the 4 of us ended up taking the Let's Talk chat and like really making it a thing. Because they realized that we needed numbers, right? So Sean's gone. Sad, boo-hoo. We get to day 27, and right before day 27, we all made the vote to do, what was it? The sandbox. Sandbox is where you rank the people, right? You choose people and you rank them. The 4 of us sat on our call the night before for probably like an hour or two trying to run the numbers. Now we're 8-8. Now we're 4-4. It's 8 of us. It's the 4 of us, and we know for a fact because Billy told me that it was 4 of them. So we had to figure out how to stack our numbers to attack, and they also were probably doing the same thing. We had to also come up with a strategy of throwing them off, making them think that we're going for someone else when we're not, which I think that they were going to do the same thing. The trick, though, was trying to make sure that Romeo was staying loyal, making sure that me, Sharonica, and Benny were not going to be 3rd place, and targeting Garrett and Billy. That plan worked fabulously. By the time we got to the live, somebody thought me and Benny weren't cool. Me and Benny played up that we were having some kind of beef of some sort. I don't even know where the fuck that came from or how we did it, but we pulled it off. And we convinced them all that we were putting Romeo up. And because of that, it ended up being a dead tie between Romeo and Billy, bitch. And we knew that we didn't have the number stacked against us. Papa is 2 against, I think, Romeo, I think. So I don't know who he's 2 else against, but I know he's 2 against Romeo. Billy was 2 against me. Y'all know I'm at work. Don't even be tripping. Billy is 2 against me. Garrett is 2 against Romeo and Sharonica. And the only numbers we have on our side is like Benny was 2 against Garrett. And that was it. I think Romeo was 2 against Hannah or something like that. Sorry, y'all. I had to interrupt this regularly scheduled program because the baby brain was eating away at anything that I thought I had remembered, especially numbers. But as you can see, this is the actual numbers. This was written by Sharonica. Papa has 2 against Romeo. Garrett has 2 against Romeo and Sharonica. We had very little defenses. If you look at our totals, we don't have anybody that has 5 against one person or anything like that. We have a lot of halves. So this was some bull, and this is what we needed to work out. Now, back to your regularly scheduled confessional. We had no numbers. They were fully stacked. Plus, Papa had powers. Billy had powers. Best case scenario is we win everything. And honey, that's exactly what happened. We won Corruptor, Benny won Corruptor, and I won CPU. Now, this is going to be a long video because there was a long way that we got to how the fuck we got there. And that was not the destination, but bitch, we got there. Okay? Romeo and Billy were tied. Billy was like, did you vote for me? I was like, even if all 4 of us voted for you, I was like, there's only 4 of us. Second, Benny won the Corruptor, which was awesome. Until Benny and Sharonica are secretly trying to protect Garrett, and I don't know why. I don't know why Sharonica would want to. His votes count 2 against her. Why are you protecting him? Let's get him out, please. Garrett should be gone. Papa should be gone. Papa can be gone before Garrett, but between the 2 of them, they each have 6 votes towards my side. And Romeo can't vote against Garrett, and Sharonica only has half a vote against Garrett. And Garrett has 2 votes against both of them. So why on earth is he still here? Billy had to go, but he was not my target. This is going to be a long video. There's a lot to say. For some reason, Benny didn't want bad blood from Garrett on his hands. So that's why he did not change and take Romeo off the block when he won Corruptor, which is fucked up because Romeo's supposed to be in our alliance, and I know that Romeo is pissed off and stressed out because he's still on the block and we have the ability to save him. That made me so angry because I'm like, who gives a fuck what Garrett thinks? I give more of a fuck about what Romeo, Sharonica, and Benny thinks. I don't give a fuck about what Garrett thinks at this point because I want Garrett out. I want Papa out. But when Benny made that decision, I said I have to win CPU because I gotta freestyle this shit and I do not want my fate in someone else's hands. That's exactly how I felt. So I sat there and I blew. I blew my pregnant opera singing ass all over them motherfucking cards. Blew. Strategically blew. Blew. And I won that competition. And I won CPU. Now that I'm in CPU and I still have one of my allies on the fucking block and Billy is there. Billy's like, please keep me in. I'm like, Billy, I got an idea. I then scramble because that's what good quarterbacks do. They fucking scramble because Benny left me with shit and I still needed to figure out a way to protect Romeo and I still needed to make sure that me and Sharonica would be okay in the process. Well, I was safe, so I was gonna be good. So at this point, I'm really looking out for Sharonica and Romeo, and I had to figure out what was the best course of action. I knew I was only gonna be CPU for like 15 fucking minutes. So what can I do to make my CPU fucking matter, right? Burn a power. Make Billy burn his power. Hopefully Billy can stay safe. But Billy going isn't too much of a problem for me. Billy has 2 votes against me. I don't really care if he goes. I mean, I would like for him to stay, but my real target at that point was Garrett. Billy, how does your power work? Oh, I have an opportunity to choose 2 more people to compete against the 2 of us who are already on the block. After that battle happens, the final 2 people who have gone through that battle, they're the final glitches. And I'm the sole vote. Fucking roll the dice, Billy. You get to choose something. We have a common enemy in Garrett. Go. Put Garrett up and whoever the fuck else you want. I knew he was going to pick Sharonica. And it scared me because that was gambling with Sharonica and Romeo's safety in this game. But when I tell you, I laid on this floor over here on my back and I prayed to every single deity that existed that at least Billy or Garrett remained on that block. It wasn't witchcraft, it wasn't voodoo, but I prayed. Let me tell you, I was on that floor when my Zoom was off. I was on that floor. So go back and watch the video. Every time I was on the camera, I was there. Jesus, please. See, I done dropped the phone. I was on that floor, lay back. Jesus, please just let Billy or Garrett be on the block at this point. I need Garrett, but I'll take Billy. I need Garrett, but I'll take Billy. Please, Jesus, please. So it was only the grace of God that it worked out the way it did. I'm so proud of Romeo for taking himself down. I gave him a heads up. I told him, be ready. So it was by the grace of God that Romeo was able to take himself off. I was so proud of him. One, it makes for really good TV, right? And then it makes Romeo look like a threat. Like, yo, bruh, I'm here to play, don't play. I was pissed that Garrett did not go. And I was so devastated that I had to get rid of Billy. Oh my God, that was so fucking gangster. That is the hardest move that I have ever done in any game ever. I ain't even gonna hold you up. Like, I've had some fucked up shit happen to me in games before like this. But I've never been the orchestrator of this demise, and it feels so fucking good. Look, Billy told me a lot of information, y'all. And when Billy started confiding in me about shit, I was like, I'm about to be a labyrinth of information. I'm about to be a Pandora's box, if you will, of information on Billy's game. That means I am going to have to be the person that, like, either ends his game or takes this dude all the way to the end with me somehow. And I was like, Billy is not my final two. If I can be honest, I don't think I have a solid final two in this game yet. So, it's just been crazy. Y'all, so in my confessional, and hopefully the lounge doesn't see this yet, but the tears that I gave for Billy, unfortunately, they were very fake. But the sentiment was very real. I was devastated when I was laying on this floor and I was praying that Garrett would be one of the final two glitches, and he wasn't. I was brokenhearted. The reason why was because I know Garrett has a power too, and I wanted Garrett to go out but I knew that he was going to give his power to like Papa or like Billy, or not me. Well, not me, but I know he has a power too. But Billy had the ultimate power, and I knew he paid money for it, and I knew that his vote counted too towards me. So literally, he was the logical vote, and it broke my heart. I was like, oh my gosh, Billy has been spilling so much tea, and I have to let him go. This is so sad. Like, I don't know. But it looks like a queen fucking move. Sorry. So, but during the vote out, during the debugging, Sharonica said something that was very hurtful to Romeo. She told Billy that I was going to save him, which was all of the lies. That was not the truth. And to be honest, if it would have been between Sharonica and Romeo, I probably would have kept Romeo. Here's the reason why. That would have taken a number from Garrett. Then we would have been at this start over point where we had to like figure out renumber and all that other stuff. But it was only like the luck of the draw that I was able to keep my 4 strong. I promised Sean I would. I promised myself I would. Also, wouldn't it be baller as fuck if the final 5 were all black people? I don't mind keeping Hannah and hanging her out, because what has she done this entire season? What has she done? She helped vote out one of her allies, I think. So now here we are. After all of that, Billy's gone. The ultimate power has been used, and it is gone. Now we rebuild because Romeo is pissed that Sharonica said some dumb shit. So now we have to try and make sure that Romeo is really solid number with us. And it's the 4 of us against the 3 of them. Hannah is trying to get me and Benny in a 3 with her. I don't even know how that shit's gonna fucking work, but whatever. If I win one of the races where I can like lock somebody, I'll probably lock Sharonica and Benny. That's what I would want to do. After the round, if I get an ability where I can lock, that's going to be my goal, is to lock. So I can lock Sharonica. I don't need to be CPU this round, but I'm going to keep doing that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm now about to jump on a call with Romeo. But let's get it. Let's go. Final 5 is about to be all black folks. 3 black girls. It was at this moment that I realized, after speaking to people, that the CPU and the corruptor in this round have absolutely no power in determining my safety. So what a bitch is actually going to do is save her goddamn self. I want my 4 to stay intact. I would love to be able to assist with keeping Romeo at the bottom. But if I keep it a buck with you, I'm not trying to leave this round. And I know for a fact that they have points to get me out. So rather than playing with hot coals, I'm just going to douse that flame, keep my targets where they are, and keep it pushing. I need my 4 to stay here, but I'm not about to sacrifice myself to do it.